didn't bring it. Oh, okay.
Well, there's a song that,
Oh, there's a fourth one, that's it, right. We have lots of songs.
It just fell on the floor.
You have to pick it all up.
Is it here? Yeah, here it is. Well, I can give you an idea of this song. Helene actually premiered this 9 years ago, but we didn't prepare it, but I can give you an idea of it. This is the song that I wrote with Kim. Are you now, or have you ever been, a member of a conspiracy to make life better for other people, to bring relief where it is needed, to root out corruption wherever it may be found, to feed the hungry, to clothe the naked, to free the captive, to comfort the bereaved, to bring peace among nations, to make a better world? Are you now, or have you ever been? Are you now, or have you ever been? What came to that? Yeah. Reminds me, are you now, have you ever been? That was McCarthy's big question, of course. And who was McCarthy's crony?
Roy Cohen.
And what relevance does that have today?
Trump's mentor.
That's right. Okay, I didn't say the word, but that's. So I think I covered just about everything, except, I gave you a flyer on the Triangle Park. We all want you to come and see the opera. March 12th will be the Manhattan premiere, but there's a special showing with the HBO film, with members of the staff of that film, and that's going to take place on March 23rd, a secret location, only to know to those who are part of the production or are contributing to the production. And we would like very much to invite you to do whatever you feel comfortable doing. Let us know. I think our contact information is on there.
Sure. Second page of the flyer, there's a lot of information.
And we'll also be having some sort of a release party for the CD when it comes out. It's coming out on the 2nd anniversary of my mother's death, January 13th. And we'll be having something at the, I think we're going to have an interfaith service. We talked about that with the rabbi.
Right.
Around that
Church
time.
in New York and the Metropolitan Synagogue.
And Joel Mandelbaum is the former director of the Alcoa School of Music at Queens College, so we'll have something there. And if you want to invite Joel Mandelbaum, maybe you can have something here. He's a very distinguished composer, microtonalist and romanticist both.
A very good speaker.
Oh yeah, he's excellent speaker.
Wonderful, fun.
And, he and I go back. I mean, we both studied with Tibor Kozma at Indiana. We both studied at Harvard. He studied with Piston. I studied with Kirshner and Kim.
John Adams studied.
No, didn't he study?
No.
Piston gave him a letter of recommendation.
Oh, that's right.
Because of his father.
They were friends.
That's right. That's right. Yeah.
So John Adams,
Yeah.
we met him when he was doing probably the New York City Ballet.
Okay.
Is it ballet?
Yeah. One of his.
And we got in a conversation with Piston.
Uh-huh.
John Adams, when we premiered the concerto in '64, John Adams played the clarinet in the
Yes. Yes. He's an excellent clarinetist and conductor. I knew him at Harvard in that capacity.
But this was at Dartmouth.
He became a conductor, a composer after he was already a
This
distinguished
was at
clarinetist
Dartmouth,
conductor.
Mario de Bonaventura.
Yes. Yes.
Will you be conducting the opera on
Yes.
those dates?
Yes.
You'll be
Yeah, we conducting from the piano. We don't yet have a budget to do with the orchestra. Yeah, these performances have been with piano. It's 12 singers and piano and a triangle. Appropriate for the triangle, right? I have 11 operas, but only half of them are actually orchestrated, and only a handful of them have been done with orchestra. Idiot's First and Carla Kelsenbaum was done with orchestra. Sima, which I wrote a Russian short story my uncle translated, was my first full-length opera. It's been done in Ithaca and Berlin. We're still looking for a New York production.
So this opera is at the moment not scored for an orchestra, just for piano
At the moment,
as well?
yeah.
But you have scored opera for an orchestra?
Yes, Idiot's First and Carla were done with orchestra. Sacco Mazzetti is orchestrated, although yet performed. There's an opera that I wrote, one of the things I did at Cornell was I directed a play, well, two plays, one by Chekhov, one by Malamud, and then each of them became an opera, a one-act opera that I wrote. And the Chekhovs had 5 productions in this country. I set the original Chekhov text in Russian, and then wrote a translation to go with the music. It was very interesting to do that. It was Chekhov's play called the anniversary or the celebration or jubilee. There are about 13 translations of it, but mine's the only translation that actually mimics reproduces the music of the original language, the rhythm and the syntax. So there's a composer named Sergei Sloninsky, who is probably the leading Russian composer in Russia today. And I met him in Leningrad '71, and we met him on July 4th. We met him again, and he remembered me. I said, I lectured in your class 45 years ago. He said, I was a very young man then. He's 84 now, and he signed this. This is his King Lear, based on the Pasternak translation of the Shakespeare, and he signed it to me. Leonard Lehrman, высокоталантливого композитора и пианиста in French, Sergei Sloninsky. And I told him I want to translate this opera back into English. He said, it's impossible. I said, well, I'm going to do it. And he said, okay, well, God can help you, you know. So I got through the first act. They're premiering this on October 28th in Petersburg at the... No, Mariinsky wouldn't take it. But it's being done at
In the Hermitage
the
Theater.
Hermitage Theater, in conjunction with the conservatory.
It's a beautiful little theater.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're going on October 28th. We'll be there, and then in Moscow we'll be at the Russian University for the Humanities and the American Embassy and the Scriabin Museum. And then, did I tell you
No.
what's happening in Bobruisk?
No, you didn't.
My grandmother's.
How do you remember all this?
He repeats a lot. He repeats it a lot. He repeats it a lot.
When we visited Bobruisk, and I told them about my Mikhail's and my mother, and they said, will you come back in November? Why? We are going to have a commemoration of the 75th anniversary of the liquidation of the ghetto in Bobruisk, which took place in November of 1941. 10,000 Jews were killed, including 15 of my relatives. And they asked us, would we come and do 2 numbers? We'll do one in Russian, we'll do one in Yiddish. That's our next trip. What line
In 2 weeks.
Yes. So please let us be in touch with you. If you have cards, we can perhaps share them. I have your email address.
Oh,
I don't have anybody else's.
I'm so proud to rise next to
Aw.
all I can say is, however I found him, my invitation was accurate. And I am so thrilled to have been able to
I
share.
promised you one story that I didn't tell you.
I'm going to let you say it after I finish, and then you say it, and then those of us
Okay.
who are going to lunch will be able to ask. You're coming to lunch, right, everybody?
Good.
So we'll be able to ask all the questions that are burning.
You gotta get back.
Oh, I'm
Okay.
so sorry, because maybe you want to ask some questions,
would
but
love-
I
I need an evening.
Sure.
so excited to have found you both, Helene and Leonard,
Thank you.
and your friends and your great creative group here. It was very, very thrilling.
Thank
Both
you.
from the first word you said to the last word. I cannot believe what you got out of that keyboard. The keyboard with the pedal. You are an amazing performer, just amazing, and I think they should give you the lead in the opera. And it's great that you're not singing in that
She
opera.
has sung 163 pieces.
Thank you very much.
Unbelievable. I feel really transported by the program. It was very wide-ranging. You were very generous in sharing so many of your milestones and what brought you to be who you are here today. The Russian, the French, the music, the background, Kansas, Queens, Harvard, Cornell. I feel like I really have I really feel very, very
I
fortunate. And now I'm going to let you tell your story, and then we'll go to lunch. I'm sorry you're not, I'm obviously sorry you're not coming. Why don't you
I
tell the story?
promised you a story about Luciano Pavarotti. When I was assistant chorus master at the Met, I was hired mostly to teach the chorus, the Russian in Yegin, which was a wonderful experience. So after that, Helen Doria said to me, Leonard, your Italian is like our Russian, you know. And I'm thinking, so it was not easy, but I remained for the entire year, and I conducted the chorus backstage in La Favorita, starring Luciano Pavarotti. We used to call it Pavarotti with Favorita. But anyway, this is I told this story to my cousin in Moscow, who was an interpreter, and he told me Russian expressions. May I sit next to you? You know, after I told him the story, he actually wanted to film it, so he did. And the story is that Luciano Pavarotti came backstage at the dress rehearsal of La Favorita, and it was the fourth act, and we had never done the backstage portion, and he came back and he said, "Oh, you are the maestro, very nice. And where is my music? And where is music stand? And where is the monitor? Very nice, very nice." That was the dress rehearsal. Came the performance. Where is my music? Where is your monitor? Where is the monitor? I stood glued to the monitor, and when it sang like an angel, we saw backstage, nobody ever saw it. It was the most incredible thing I've ever seen. You know, this man was a bundle of nerves, you know. But, you know, that was Pavarotti. One of the many experiences I had at the Met, just one of the most memorable.
Did
Thank
Palumbo
you.
come after you?
Sorry?
Palumbo came after you?
Yes. David Stuyvesant was my boss. David, I only saw him smile once. Until that story, yes. There's a passage in Eugene Onegin where the women have to sing a chorus at the beginning of the scene and at the end of the scene. At the end of the scene, it's truncated, and the passage that begins the second part of the truncated thing it goes so it begins with this little cock, which means pow in Russian. And so I had to cue them to make sure that they sang the right words there and didn't go back to the first version. So I told Stuyvesant that I managed to get them to do it right. I said, I threw them a big cock. That was the only time I ever saw him smile.
On that note.
Yeah.
This is a private gathering.
I thought you were
But I
leaving
see
Trump
you.
out of this.
Thank you very, very much.